Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Monday, August 7th, 2023. Today I'm going to recap the weekend's MLB, FIFA Women's World Cup, other soccer, WNBA, look ahead to everything going on today. We'll go over the results from the Wyndham Championship, and then NASCAR results for Michigan, news and notes, and best bet. We'll start with baseball. Interesting weekend. And we'll look ahead to, I think is a smaller slate for tonight. Braves over the Cubs 8-0. Rays over the Tigers 8-0. Nats over the Reds 6-3-10. Royals over the Phillies 7-5. Orioles over the Mets 10-3. Astros over the Yankees 7-3. Guardians over the White Sox 4-2. Blue Jays over the Red Sox 7-3. Rangers over the Marlins 6-2. Twins over the Diamondbacks 3-2. Pirates over the Brewers 8-4. Rockies over the Cardinals 9-4. So best bet from Friday night was a winner. Mariners over the Angels 9-7. And the Dodgers over the Padres 10-5. Saturday, Yankees over the Astros 3-1. Tigers over the Rays 4-2. Cubs over the Braves 8-6. Rangers over the Marlins 9-8. Jays over the Red Sox 5-4. Nats over the Reds 7-3. Phils over the Royals 9-6. O's over the Mets 7-3. A's over the Giants 2-1. White Sox over the Guardians 7-4. Brewers over the Pirates 3-2-10. On a walk-off single by Blake Perkins. Cardinals over the Rockies 6-2. Twins over the D-backs 12-1. Padres over the Dodgers 8-3. And the Mariners over the Angels 3-2. And then yesterday's results, White Sox over the Guardians 5-3. Phillies over the Royals 8-4. Astros over the Yankees 9-7. O's over the Mets 2-0. Blue Jays over the Red Sox 13-1. Rays over the Tigers 10-6. Nats over the Reds 6-3. Twins over the D-backs 5-3. Pirates over the Brewers 4-1. Rockies over the Cardinals 1-0. Cubs over the Braves 6-4. Rangers over the Marlins 6-0. Mariners over the Angels 3-2-10. A's over the Giants 8-6. And the Dodgers over the Padres 8-2. All right, we have one day game and the rest are night games. It's the last of the four gamers between the Dodgers and the Padres, Tony Gonsolin and Seth Lugo. Tony Gonsolin took a step back after a great year last year. Seth Lugo is who he is at this point of his career. Padres are minus 142, Dodgers plus 120, over under 9, overs minus 122, unders even money. Dodgers plus 1.5 is minus 170, Padres minus 1.5 is plus 140. Don't love the under, but I do like under 4.5 Padre runs at plus 102. Because I think that Gonsolin could have a throwback performance here. 6:30 Marlins Reds, Yuri Perez and Brandon Williamson. Marlins minus 142, Reds plus 120, over under 10.5, minus 110 each way. Marlins minus 1.5 is plus 112, Reds plus 1.5 is minus 134. Oh my god, I love the under. Yuri Perez has been really good. Williamson hasn't been good, but 10.5 is way too high in a Marlins game. Come on, the Marlins can't score that many runs. And I don't see the Reds scoring like 8 runs, you know what I mean? Even 7-3 Reds is a winner. 7-3 Marlins can win. Twins Tigers. Pablo Lopez and Joey Wentz. Twins minus 164. Tigers plus 138. Over under 8.5. Overs minus 106. Unders minus 114. Twins minus 1.5 is plus 102. Tigers plus 1.5 is minus 122. I like the over in this spot. Believe it or not. Nationals Phillies. Trevor Williams and Ranger Suarez. Phils minus 235, Nats plus 194, over under 10, overs minus 102, and there's minus 120. Nats plus 1.5 is minus 105, Phillies minus 1.5 is plus, minus 114. Ranger Suarez has not been the same guy as last year. He took a step back in my eyes. But Trevor Williams isn't that much better, so I'm going to go over 5.5 Phillies, runs at minus 118. 7 o'clock, Braves, Pirates, Spencer Strider and Osvaldo Bido. Braves minus 310. Pirates plus 250. Over under 8.5. Overs minus 115. Unders minus 105. Braves minus 1.5 is minus 178. Pittsburgh plus 1.5 is plus 150. I don't trust Beto at all. I'm going to go over 5.5 Braves runs minus 108. Cubs Mets from Citi Field. Oh no, we skipped one. We did Braves Pirates just now. Drew Smiley and Cody Senga. I thought we skipped one, but we didn't. That's my fault. Mets minus 120, Cubs plus 102 over under 9. Overs even money. Unders minus 122. Cubs plus 1.5 is minus 194. Mets minus 1.5 is plus 160. I like the Cubs at plus 102. They are red hot. I understand Drew Smiley's not good, but who else isn't good? The New York Metropolitans. So give me the Cubs, who are red hot. Who knows? It might be a letdown spot, and I could be wrong after they knocked off the Braves twice, but riding the hot hand with the Cubs. Royals, Red Sox. Cole Ragans and Brayan Balo. Red Sox minus 108, Royals plus 166, over under 9.5, overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Royals plus 1.5 is minus 115, Red Sox minus 1.5 is minus 104. The Red Sox had a disastrous couple of games. We'll get into what happened in their game yesterday in news and notes. Cora really owned up to it to his credit, but I'm taking the Royals not straight up, but plus the 1.5 and minus 115 because I just don't trust this Red Sox team right now. Jays Guardians. Heijin Ryu and Gavin Williams. Jays minus 124. Guardians plus 106. Over under 8.5. Overs minus 118. Unders minus 104. Jays minus 1.5 is plus 130. Guardians plus 1.5 is minus 160. Ryu was not good in his first start. Gavin Williams has been pretty solid so far. I'm going to go with the Guardians at plus 106 to knock off the Blue Jays. 8 o'clock, you have the Yankees at the White Sox. Garrett Cole and Dylan Cease. Thank goodness Garrett Cole is going for the Yankees today. But Dylan Cease is going for the White Sox. But he has not been good lately. Yanks minus 172. White Sox plus 144. Over under 7.5. Overs minus 118. Unders minus 104. Yanks minus 1.5 is even money. White Sox plus 1.5 is minus 120. I like the over in this game. I can't believe I've taken an over in a Yankees game, but this is more having to do with the fact that Dylan Cease has not pitched like the guy that he's perceived to be this season. I know trade rumors recently, but the Yankees offense kind of showed signs of life over the weekend, and I'm going to bank on that a little bit as well. Hopefully Judge starts to hit a little bit, so I'm going to go with the over. And maybe the White Sox can score a couple off of Cole, too. Rockies, Brewers. Peter Lambert and Freddie Peralta. Brewers minus 250. Rockies plus 205. Over under 8.5. Minus 110 each way. Rocks plus 1.5 is minus 102. Brewers minus 1.5 is minus 118. I like the over a lot. Peralta and Lambert, neither have been good. That's a low number for a Rockies game. 9:30, Giants, Angels. Logan Webb and Patrick Sandoval. Giants minus 124, Angels plus 106, over under 8.5, minus 110 each way. Giants minus 1.5 is plus 128, Angels plus 1.5 is minus 154. I'm going to go under 3.5 Angels runs at plus 108. I think this is a good spot for Logan Webb. And last but not least, you have the Rangers at the A's, Dane Dunning and Ken Waldichuk. Rangers minus 240, A's plus 194, over under 9, overs minus 106, unders minus 114. Rangers minus 1.5 is minus 142. A's plus 1.5 is plus 118. For this one, I'm going to go with over 5.5 Ranger runs at minus 108. Okay, now move on to FIFA World Cup from the weekend and the overnight or this morning. So Saturday, round of 16, Spain over Switzerland 5-1, Japan over Norway 3-1, and the Netherlands over South Africa 2-0. Sunday, Sweden and U.S. 0-0 draw, but Sweden advances 5-4 on penalty. So a disappointing run for the United States women's national team comes to a fitting, I say, close. England, Nigeria, 0-0 draw, but England advances 4-2 on penalties. Proud of Nigeria for going this far. Like, they should be proud. And then Australia over Denmark, 2-0. All right, 2 overnight games, 4 o'clock in the morning on Fox Sports 1, Colombia and Jamaica. Colombia won Group H. Jamaica was the runner-up in Group F. So Jamaica is a team that is one of these underdogs here. So I do my odds based on the money line, not the qualify. Colombia's plus 105, Jamaica plus 280. The draw is 2-1. I'm going to do Jamaica money line plus 105. And then 7 a.m. on Fox Sports 1, you have France and Morocco. France won Group F. Morocco came in second in Group H. Both of these teams had good runs in group stage. France is minus 750. Morocco is 15-1. The draw is 7-1. I'm going to go over 3.5 goals at plus 120. And I didn't know about this. 90 minutes in injury time only. Extra time not included for the totals in soccer. So that's good to note. Okay, now move on to other soccer. We'll start with Cup. We have more Leagues Cup games coming to you tonight. All right, so Friday was the end of round of 32. Cincy, Nashville, 1-1 draw, but Nashville advances 5-4 on penalties. So Cincinnati, who's been the best regular season team this year, out. America over Chicago, 1-0. Columbus, Minnesota, 3-3 draw, but Minnesota advances 4-3 on penalties, so the Crew is out. Minnesota advances. Salt Lake over Lyon, 3-1, so Lyon's run comes to an end. Now they got to get ready for La Liga, or Liga MX. Toluca over KC 4-1. Monterrey over Portland 1-0. So all of the, or some of the Liga MX teams are coming through here. Tigres Vancouver 1-1 draw, but Tigres advances 5-3 on penalties. Then the round of 16 began yesterday as Dallas and Miami had a 4-4 draw, but Miami advances 5-3 on penalties. And Messi scored a late goal in the 85th minute to force go into extra time tied. So Messi's just been Mr. Clutch, whether it's been the World Cup or the Leagues Cup. All right, 3 games tonight. 7:30 from Chester, Pennsylvania. Subaru Park. The Philadelphia Union, winners of 5 straight, hosting the Red Bulls of New York. Philly's starting to come together. Look out. So, should be a really fun game, fun rivalry. Red Bulls have been down this year, but they've kind of got it together a little bit in the Leagues Cup. The Union are favored, minus 125. The Red Bulls are 3-1. The draw is plus 240. I'm going to go over 2.5 goals at minus 118. So the juice there is even. But it's weird that rule doesn't apply to these games. I just said it during FIFA. But I guess it's just a FIFA betting rule, not a Leagues Cup or MLS betting rule. So I like the over 2.5 goals at minus 118. Gunpoint Philadelphia wins and advances to the 8. 8 o'clock on Fox Sports 1, Querétaro and the New England Revolution. from Gillette in Foxborough. New England is a 2-1 favorite. Curataro's plus 450. The draw is plus 320. The Revolution are having a good season in MLS this year. So the Revolution came in second in East 4, and Querétaro came in second in East Group 1. So New England should advance. It's disappointing if they don't. Well, over 3.5 goals at plus 132. And at 9:30 tonight, Charlotte, Houston. From Houston, Charlotte won its group. They were in South 4. Houston was second in South 2. Houston's favorite, minus 115. Charlotte's plus 290. Draws plus 240. I'm going to lay the minus 115 in Houston. They're home. And they're a team I feel like could go on a little bit of a run. All right. And then other soccer beyond that from the weekend. All right, so friendlies. Friday, Trabzonspor over 1461. Trabzon FK 5-0. Saturday, Leverkusen over West Ham 4-0. Man United over Lens 3-1. Stuttgart over Sheffield United 3-0. Wolves over Rennes 3-1. Fulham over Hoffenheim 2-1. Frankfurt Nottingham Forest 0-0 draw. Mainz over Burnley 1-0. Everton over Sporting 1-0. Newcastle over Fiorentina 2-0. Brentford Lille 0-0 draw. Bournemouth over Lorient 2-0. Crystal Palace over Lyon 2-0. Aston Villa over Valencia 2-1. Real Sociedad over Betis 1-0. And Atletico and Sevilla 1-1 draw. Sunday, Tottenham over Shakhtar 5-1. Dortmund over Ajax 3-1. Man United Athletic 1-1 draw. Newcastle over Villarreal 4-0. Toulouse over AS Roma 2-1. And Elche and Parma 1-1 draw. All right, and 2 today, 11 o'clock, you have Bayern and Monaco. I'm going to see if these are posted. I don't see that one. And then 2 o'clock, you have Liverpool and Darmstadt. And that's posted. Liverpool is 6-1 as a favorite. Darmstadt's plus 950. The draw is 6-1. I'm going under 3.5 goals at plus 108. And then we'll do USL from the weekend. Friday, Oakland over Charleston 1-0. Colorado over Birmingham 2-1. And Louisville over Tulsa 3-0. And then Saturday was a big window. Hartford over New Mexico 2-1. Memphis over Indy 2-1. Miami FC over El Paso 4-0. Pittsburgh over Tampa 1-0. Sacramento over Monterrey 1-0. Orange County over San Diego 3-1. Vegas over Rio Grande 2-1. And San Antonio over Phoenix 2-1. And then we have 4 games on Wednesday in that league. And by the way, we have the English Premier League, La Liga, and the French League all resuming on Friday. So, and they're the beginnings of those seasons. So throughout the week, maybe I'll do English Premier League tonight and French League Wednesday and La Liga on Tuesday. So that is good to know. And then Dutch Era Devised begins Friday 2 for the season. And that's another league we like to cover. So maybe I'll do that on Thursday. So those are some other leagues that I obviously like to cover. And then English League Championship started over the weekend. Southampton over Sheffield Wednesday 2-1 for Friday. Saturday, Blackburn over West Brom 2-1. Bristol City, Preston 1-1 draw. Millwall over Borough 1-0. Norwich City over Hull 2-1. Plymouth over Huddersfield 3-1. Stoke over Rotherham 4-1. Swansea, Birmingham 1-1 draw. Watford over QPR 4-0. And then yesterday, Leicester over Coventry 2-1. Leeds, Cardiff 2-2 draw. Ipswich over Sunderland 2-1. That league resumes on Saturday. So maybe I'll do belated picks for English League Championship at some point too. So those are all going to be separate podcasts. So just keep an eye out for those. All right, now move on to the WNBA. We will go over the results from the weekend, and we have no games today. Friday, Liberty over Link 76-66, Sun over the Fever 88-72, Mystics over the Thrux 79-77, Sky over the Wings 1-89. Saturday, Storm over the Mercury 97-91, and Sunday, the Liberty over the Aces 99-61. That is the win of the year for the Liberty, and you can't convince me otherwise. They kicked the Aces' asses on ABC yesterday. Very impressive win for them. Dream over the Fever 82-73, Sparks over the Mystics 91-83, and the Sky over the Wings 104-96. So the Liberty with that win over Vegas is now 3 back in the loss column of Las Vegas, who's the only team that's clinched a playoff spot. And then Connecticut, it's in third with 20-7. There's 20-7, but they're 1 back of the Liberty in the loss column. Dallas and Atlanta are 4th and 5th. Washington under 500 and 6th. Minnesota under 500 and 7th. San Francisco, Chicago's in 8th. And then the Sparks are 3 back in the loss column with Chicago. And then Seattle, Phoenix, and Indy are kind of out of it. And then the Commissioner's Cup's going to be Vegas Liberty again. But that's going to be in Vegas. I don't know when that game. Oh, that's going to be next Tuesday, the 15th. That's a biggie on Prime Video. The Commissioner's Cup title game on Amazon Prime between the Liberty and the Aces. So that's Tuesday, the 15th. So maybe Jeff Maglicetti needs to come on before that. All right, now move on to golf. We will look at the results from the Wyndham Championship. And your winner with the score 20 under, Lucas Glover. Tied for second with 18 under, Ryan Henley and Ben Ganon. Fourth with 16 under, Brett Horschel. Tied for fifth with 13 under, Michael Kim, Webb Simpson. Tied for seventh with 12 under, Brendan Todd, Adam Scott, JT Potson, Adam Svensson, Cam Davis. Tied for 12th with 11 under, Justin Thomas and Charlie Hoffman. Tied for 14th with 10 under, Stefan Yeager, Eric Cole, Sam Burns, Robert Streb, Nicholas Hojard, Ludwig Gaberg, Sanjay M. 21st with 9 under, Thomas Dietrich. Tied for 22nd with 8 under, Tyler Moore, Lucas Donald, Davis Thompson, Robert Brebb, and Matthias Schmidt. Tied for 27th with 7 under, Chester V, Gary Woodland, Nate Hardy, Austin Smotherman, Adam Putnam, and Nick Lindheim. Tied for 33rd with 6 under, Chasen Hadley, Andrew Novak, Carrie Inglis, Shai-Woo Kim, Kelly Craft. Tied for 38th with 5 under, Sam Bennett, J.J. Spawn, Sam Ryder, Grayson Seek, Matt Kuchar, Tyler Duncan, Alex Narine. Tied for 45th with 4 under, Matt Walsh, Brant Snecker, Davis Lipsky, Scott Piercy, Kevin Westmoreland, and Peter Quest. Tied for 51st with 3 under, Shane Lowry, Doug Gim, Nate Lashley, Max McGreevy, Dylan Wu, Christian Ziedenhout, Sichung Du. Tied for 58th with 2 under, Brandon Wu, Trey Merritt, Martine Laird, Victor Norman. Tied for 62nd with 1 under, Matt Neesmith, Scott Stallings. Tied for 64th at even, Adam Shanks, C.T. Pond, and Joel Dahman. Now 2 notables. Tied for 67th with 1 over, Trey Molinex, Michael Glitchick, and Carson Young. 70th with 3 over, Wesley Bryant. 71st with 5 over, Richie Wierenski, Joachim Herman. And among those cuts, Stuart Sink, Russell Knox, Kevin Strowman, Peter Malnati, Cam Percy, Ryan Gerard, Estelonzo Goya, Mark Hubbard, Zach Johnson, Grayson Hingo, Dylan McCarthy, Alex Mully, Ryan Moore, Brent Grant, Ryan Moore, Chad Ramey, Kyung-Gu Lee, MJ Dauphe, Callum Tarrant, Austin Cook, Doc Redmond, James Hahn, Evan Van Royen, Aaron Ray, Kevin Tway, Patrick Rogers, Brian Stewart, Scott Harrington, Trevor Werblow, Kevin Roy, Jason Duffner, Tanner Gainey, Kramer Hickok, Ben Taylor, Nicholas Echeverria, Nate Watney, Justin Sue, Will Gordon, Mackenzie Hughes, Jimmy Walker, Matthias Schmidt, Danny Willett, Austin Eckroat, Jonathan Bird, Ben Martin, Adam Hadwin, Harrison Endicott, Alex Baddeley, Davis Lipsky, Hank Labiota, Bryce Garnett, Ben Griffin, Cam Champ, Zach Blair, Sungwoo Kim, CAU, B.O. Hostler, Ryan Palmer, Paul Haley, Chris Kirk, Adam Long, Dylan Lingworth, Harry Higgs, Patton Kazir, Hideki Matsuyama, Justin Lauer, Rory Sabatini, Trevor Cohn, Tyson Alexander, Brian Gay, Robbie Shelton, Dylan Fratelli, Taylor Pendrith, Brandon Matthews, Andrew Landry, Scott Stevens, Harry Hall, Henrik Norlander. Alrighty. NASCAR from the weekend at Michigan. The results from Xfinity. Winning the race, John Hunter Nemechek. Second, Josh Berry. Third, Brandon Jones. Fourth, Ty Gibbs. Sixth, Sam Meyer. Sixth, Riley Herbst. Seventh, Ross Chastain. Eighth, Parker Kligerman. Ninth, Parker Retzlaff. 10th, Jeb Burton. The rest, Austin Hill, Sheldon Creed, Ryan Sieg, Justin Allgaier, Daniel Hemmer, Cole Custer, Brett Moffitt, Anthony Alfredo, Kyle Sieg, Chandler Smith, Kaz Gralla, Josh Williams, Ryan Ellis, Jeffrey Earnhardt, Sajid Karam, Jeremy Clements, Joe Graf Jr., Dawson Cram, Brendan Poole, Garrett Smithley, Stephon Parsons, Carson Hosford, Blaine Perkins, Parker Emmerling, Kyle Weatherman, Connor Mosack, Mason Maggio, and Sammy Smith. In Cup Series, they're going to finish today as rain pushed the race. So suspended through 74. The leaderboard right now, Tyler Reddick, Alex Bowman, Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr., Eric Jones, Austin Cindric, Brad Keselowski, Austin Dillon, Bubba Wallace, Denny Hamlin, Ty Gibbs, Chris Bouchard, Danny Suarez, Harrison Burton, AJ Mundinger, Ryan Blaney, Ross Chastain, Ryan Preece, Corey LaJoie, Joey Logano, Chase Briscoe, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Kevin Harvick, Todd Gilliland, Eric Almirola, Ty Dillon, Michael McDowell, Justin Haley, Austin Hill, Cole Custer, Josh Bleeky, Chris Bell, J.J. Yealy, Josh Berry, William Byron, Chase Elliott, and Kyle Busch is where things stand. We're 74 through 200. All right, news and notes for today. We have a lot to get into, but let's start with the Pac-12, which is a huge mess right now, as 3 more teams are expected to leave the conference in wake of Washington and Oregon. It was announced Friday afternoon that those 2 teams would join the Big Ten, as Arizona State, and Utah go to the Big 12 after a unanimous vote by the Big 12 Board of Directors. So the Pac-12 loses Oregon, Washington, Arizona State, and Utah all on the same day. And now that league is down to 4. Wazoo, Oregon State, Cal, and Stanford. That's crazy. What a disaster that conference is. And so the Big Ten is becoming like universal now all of a sudden. And the Big 12, after losing Oklahoma and Texas, is adding more. So the Big 12 kind of starting to make up for its losses of Oklahoma and Texas as they go to the SEC. And the Big 12 is getting 4 Pac-12 schools, and then they got Houston, UCF, BYU, So they are in a good spot. I think SMU's in the Big 12 too, if I'm not mistaken too. Or is that rumored? Let's see. They're in the American right now, so they're not in the Big 12. So it's Houston, UCF, BYU, and Cincinnati. I knew there was another American team that went to the Big 12. And then Memphis was rumored, but they're still in the American as well. So realignment was the biggest story of the week and of the weekend, as the Pac-12 is now down to a dreaded 4 teams. And Nick Saban said it's sad how conference realignment will diminish college football traditions. I agree with him. Nick's right. So that is just really unfortunate. And then the Pac-12 released a statement as they are focusing on securing best future for remaining 4 teams. And then there's talks that the Pac-12 could merge with the Mountain West, as the conference's options are limited, but Mountain West is receptive to potential merger. So would the Pac-12 downgrade from a Power 5 to and they would be a Power 4 and then the group of 6? Or that would still be the group of 5 in theory. So let's see what happens there. So that was the biggest story of the weekend in sports, in my opinion. Another big story is the Pittsburgh Penguins acquired Erik Karlsson from the San Jose Sharks, as the Sharks get back a 2024 first-round pick. There's a 3-team deal. The Canadians are involved. They get Casey DeSmith and Jeff Petrie in return in the deal, and the second-round pick. Pittsburgh weirdly got a pick in the deal, and I think Mike Hoffman went to the Sharks in the trade. So, interesting trade. Obviously, Pittsburgh still trying to keep its window open with Crosby and Malkin. So, there you have it with that. And you could argue that Pittsburgh, with that trade, puts themselves back in the conversation for one of those last playoff spots in the East. Maybe they get third in the Metro, potentially, but a good trade for them. But they do have some bad news, too. Jake Gensel had ankle surgery, will be reevaluated in 12 weeks, so he'll miss the start of the season, it looks like. So one of their best players is going to be out to start the year. So that could potentially cost them a top 3 spot in the Metro with the addition of Karlsson. The Capitals extend Tom Wilson's 7-year, $45.5 million contract beginning in 24-25. So he'll be making a little over $6 million a year, so good for Tom Wilson. And the Caps for locking him up. So a busy weekend in hockey with those trades. And then the Coyotes signed Matt Dumba, 1 year, $4 million, and they also bring in Matt Duchene on a 1-year deal. So the Coyotes making some moves for some veterans. And then, big NBA news from the weekend. Anthony Davis gets the richest annual deal in league history with a 3-year, $186 million contract. He is making $62 million a year. Anthony Davis, who's always hurt, is making over $60 million a year. That's where the NBA is going. I mean, good for Anthony Davis for getting that big contract, but that is absolutely insane that they paid him that much money. I think that's an overpay because of how often he doesn't play. Josh Hart wants a Knicks extension as they can begin contract talks next week after picking up his $12.9 million option. Let's see if New York can get that done. And in football, Alvin Kamara suspended 3 games because of the incident he was involved in, which was violating personal conduct policy linked to the arrest. So that's a big loss for the New Orleans Saints. And then another injury for them. Eno Benjamin, torn Achilles. That's just brutal for New Orleans. So not a good couple of days for the Saints. The Eagles signed 2 veterans, Miles Jack and Zach Cunningham, the 1-year deal. So good veteran pickups for Philadelphia. I like this signing for the Panthers. Justin Houston, 1-year deal. That's a nice veteran to have there. A couple of teams are in on Zeke, Cowboys, Patriots, and Jets. Why are the Jets in the mix for Zeke and Dalvin Cook? Like, they're good to sign one of those guys. Like, they're already loaded. They have Breece Hall. They don't need one of those guys. I think the Cowboys should bring back Zeke, and then the Patriots should sign Dalvin Cook. Or maybe Dalvin Cook goes to Miami and Zeke goes to New England. A couple of more extensions. Logan Wilson, 4 years, over $37 million with the Bengals. Good job on them. Matt Judon has a weird extension as he can make up to $18 million in his new deal with the Pats. And then the Colts signed Kenyon Drake amid trade rumors for Jonathan Taylor. The Cowboys are extending Malik Hooker to a 3-year deal worth up to $24 million. The Bears to sign Mercedes Lewis. 18 years for Mercedes Lewis. That's crazy in the league. And then Cam Jordan gets an extension 2 years through 2025, $27.5 million deal. Good for Cam Jordan, one of the more underrated players in the league. Cooper Kupp day-to-day, as Sean McVay isn't concerned. He called it a little tweak. Bryce Young playing preseason debut Saturday against the Jets, so that's exciting. The Patriots get a massive jumbotron in Gillette Stadium, which is pretty cool. And in college football, should have mentioned this earlier. KJ Bolden, who's the 2024 number 1 safety, chose Florida State over Georgia and Auburn. So good on the Seminoles for getting that big recruit. So we've missed the basketball thing. Bam Adebayo talks about the Dame stuff. He said both sides want it to make sense. All right, Vlaco speaks after US WNT lost. He said he's proud of the team despite stunning World Cup elimination. Really? You're proud that you lost? Listen, that was a very disappointing run. And we should have saw signs in group play when they had a couple of the draws. And it's just unfortunate. And the reality of the situation is that these girls on the team are not ready for prime time. And that's why they lost. And in one football thing coming down right now, Kareem Hunt is visiting the Saints as Kamara got suspended and Eno Benjamin got injured. So that would be a good pickup for New Orleans. Um, so there's a report on Friday morning is that Bayern had a big bid for Kane, more than 110 million, and then the bid got rejected. So that's that. And then some boxing stuff. Jake Paul defeats Nate Diaz by unanimous decision. So that happened over the weekend. One more soccer thing we forgot to mention. So Arsenal will send the U.S. goalkeeper for the men's Matt Turner to Nottingham Forest, as Arsenal will move him to Nottingham Forest. So that's interesting soccer news right there. And then Alex Cora said he had one of his worst managing days, as he couldn't hide his disappointment after benching Alex Verdugo following a crushing 9th inning. So that was a terrible day for Alex Cora. Probably his worst day as a manager, period. I always respected Alex Cora. I think he is arguably the best manager in the American League East. Although I think Brandon Hyde has turned into a pretty good manager. And Kevin Cash has been around a long time too. So those are 3 outstanding managers. And I really think that John Schneider's done a nice job with the Blue Jays too. But that's a manager that's, I think, might be hot seat if they don't go on a run and win a division or go far in the postseason. Because the Blue Jays are very skitty and impatient as an organization. They're like the Maple Leafs in that sense. Just very reactionary. But Alex Cora had a really, really rough managerial day on Saturday, and I don't blame him for saying that. And that was an interesting way of how they blew that game. Anthony Rizzo talks IL stint as he addressed handling of head injury from the May collision. He said, "No one missed this." That's the biggest lie ever, Anthony Rizzo. The Yankees missed it. You had a concussion back in May, and if you didn't get concussed, maybe the Yankees would have been closer in contention in the playoffs, because you obviously stopped playing well the second you got hit, and the Yankees mismanaged the situation so poorly that they kept you in the lineup only for you to strike out every at-bat. And now you're on the injured list as a result of it. And now you're probably not going to make the playoffs as a result of it either. So, very disastrous for the Yankees with the Rizzo thing. And this year's turning into a disaster for the Yankees. The Judge injury, lack of activity at the deadline. I think Cashman and Boone are gone. And they know it. And that's my hot take. And Yankee Twitter can disagree with me all they want, because they're all Debbie Downers. And I don't blame them for being Debbie Downers. It's just, I just feel that they are acting as if they know they're not going to be back next year. Reds rookie pitcher Lyon Richardson is the first player in 50 years to allow a home run on the first 2 pitches of his career. That is a really bad sign. A very bad omen. Joe Musgrove shut down 3 weeks as he underwent an MRI on his right shoulder, which revealed capsule inflammation. That's not great for the Padres. Jake Fraley on the injured list for the stress factor in his toe. Not great for the Reds, as they're kind of faltering. And there was a big brawl in Cleveland as Jose Ramirez and Tim Anderson dropped the gloves and start swinging in the middle of the field. And then the Guardians radio broadcaster had an iconic call. Down goes Anderson. Down goes Anderson. Tom Hamilton. What an iconic call. And obviously, everybody got on Tim Anderson. So, that was some brawl. And then Anderson had a cryptic tweet. And then J-Ram called out Anderson. And then the funniest thing to come out of it was Lucas Giolito spotted the throwing mock punch in the Angels' bullpen as he was reenacting the fight. That's so funny. And then a soccer thing came down right now. Arsenal rejects Balogun bid as the Gunners turned down written offer from Monaco for him. And then Artemi Panarin got a buzz cut as he was spotted back on the ice with a new look. Alrighty, last but not least, my best bet of the day, brought to you by FanDuel. Alright, so best bet from the other night was a winner. It was over in the Cardinal-Rocky game. I have a couple in my mind that stood out. I'm going to lay a quarter unit. And the one I like better is the over 8.5 in Rockies Brewers. I thought about the under 10.5 in the Marlins game. But sometimes you got to wonder, there's a reason that total's really high. But the Rocky Brewer total's low. Peralta and Lambert have not been good this year, so I like over 8.5. I'm going to lay a quarter unit on it between the Brewers and the Rockies for my best bet of the day. All right, so there you have it for the show. I'll be back tonight with a, I think I'm going to do English Premier League tonight. English League Championship. I don't know if I'll do that one. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll do that one tonight or tomorrow as well. And then we'll do La Liga. We'll do the French. And then we'll do Dutch Eredivisie. And that's going to be the week's activity. And then tomorrow's show, usual Tuesday show, portfolio. So that should be fun. And we have the NASCAR Cup Series race to go over those final results as well. Hope you guys have a great day, everybody.